Okay, so on this question, it's another one where we're trying to solve an x squared equation. So you know how to do that. We got to identify the A, the B, and the C. Now the A, B, and C are the numbers in front of x squared, x, and no x. So what number's in front of x squared? Well, there's nothing, so that means 1, huh? Remember, when there's no number in front of a letter, it's really an invisible 1, isn't it? So in this case, A is 1, B is -4. Don't forget to take that sign. Whatever sign's in front of a number, that's his sign. And the C is +6. Okay, plug into the quadratic formula. So the quadratic formula is, we go right here. Okay, so it's going to be -b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. And so that's going to be negative parenthesis 4 times a times c all over 2a. Okay, let's plug stuff in. So b is -4 plus 1 square root of b squared minus 4 times a times c all over 2a. Like that. Okay, so I plug in a, b, and c and all that good stuff. Now notice b is -4. That's in addition to the negative sign built into the quadratic formula, right? So the quadratic formula has built-in signs which are in addition to whatever you plug in. So we get the double negative, that's going to become positive, huh? So, all right, let's take it to the next line. Okay, so where are we at? So it's going to be +4 plus or minus. Here, let me change the color. Right, because the two negatives be positive. So like that, and this is going to be 16. Now right here, negative, positive, negative, going to be -24. 2 times 1 is 2. All right, so what does that equal? Well, that's going to be 4 plus or minus 16 minus 24 is -8 all over 2. Okay, so what do we do with that? Well, you remember from previous material that a negative inside of a fraction, inside of a square root, comes out as an I, doesn't it? Whenever we have a negative in a root, you can't do that. It's imaginary. It's not real. So then that comes out. And so this becomes 4 plus or minus I. And then it's just square root of 8 over 2 like that. Is that making sense? Just like that. So that negative comes out as an I. We've seen that before. That's not our first time. So it comes out like that, doesn't it? Okay, so now we need to simplify it from here. How do we simplify it from here? Well, we break it into the two cases, right? The two cases. So I'm going to say, okay, we're going to have 4 minus I square root of 8. Oh, you know what? Actually, I should simplify that square root of 8. Yeah, let's do that first. What's the square root of 8? Well, it breaks down to be 2 times 4 and then 2 times 2. So the square root of 8 is square root of 2 times 2 times 2, right? Square root of 8 is 2, 2, 2. And then square roots do what? A 2 for 1 deal. So 2 2's in, 1 2 out. They're gone. The other 2 has to stay in. So it's 2 square root of 2. Remember how to simplify square roots like we've seen before? Put a lot of skills together now. Okay, so yeah, so it's 2 for 1. So whenever you have a square root, you gotta do that. So where does that leave us? That leaves us with 4 plus or minus I 2 root 2 over 2. Let me do that a little better. Like so. We get to there. So what just happened? That square root of 8 became 2 root 2, right? Square root of 8 is 2 root 2. Okay, so now how do we how do we simplify this? How do you simplify the rest of it? Well, from here, it's going to be, we're going to break it into basically two things. Let me show you. So we're going to say, okay, so this is 4 over 2 plus or minus I to root 2 over 2. See how I separated them with a common denominator? Right? This 2 is under both of them, isn't it? See, the bar goes all the way, which means they're both over that 2. So then I just did them separate. That's the same thing, huh? Why? Why am I doing that? Well, because they're asking me to separate the real part and the imaginary part. Okay, so I have to separate them. So what does that become? 4 divided by 2? That's 2. What happens here? The 2's cancel here. I root 2. Tracking with me? I just simplified that. Okay, so now what kind of answer do they want? They want, notice up here it says, they want the answer to be in the form A plus BI. They want you to identify the A and the B where the B is less than 0. B less than 0 means B is negative. And down here, it says B is greater than 0, which means B is positive. You seeing that? So they want A plus BI. So that means it's 2 minus I root 2 or 2 plus I root 2. This is the A. And let me just slide the I to the back. Doesn't matter, front or back, whatever. Then it'll be easier to tell what A and B are. B is that. And for the second one, A is that, and B is that. You see that? So what they want you to do is they want you to take this answer. First off, I simplified the square root of 8 to be 2 root 2 because square roots are a 2 for 1 chip out. And then I broke it into 2 separate parts, both over that common denominator of 2. Simplified them both and then broke up the plus and the minus. Oops, I did the minus here. And I did the plus over there. Like that. See that? And then I can identify the A and the B. The A and the B are the parts, the first part and then the part in front of the root. So A here is 2, B is negative root 2. The A over here is 2 and the B is positive root 2. So up here, when they say they want the A and the B, so the A, what was it? A was 2, both get 2 negative root 2. This is going to be 2 negative root 2, and the other one is 2 positive, right? B positive, B negative. And so there we go.